Okie dokie, I think we're ready to go. So last stream, we started Pikmin 3. No, Pikmin 1. Why did I say Pikmin 3? We got through the first 3 areas pretty smoothly. A lot smoother than I thought, at least. And made it to the start of the distant spring, which is where we'll be kicking off today. Truth be told, I'm gonna do a speedrun trick probably on this day. If not, it'll be on the next day. But yeah, I think we can actually finish the distant spring in one more day. I think that's perfectly feasible. So we'll see how this goes. I left a couple of walls up, I'm pretty sure. So we'll be taking yellow Pikmin. And I also want mostly blue Pikmin. At some point, I might swap to red Pikmin in case I need to fight any enemies. Typically, you really don't need to fight a whole lot here. Which, to me, is a relief. I don't like fighting in Pikmin 1. It's a lot harder than the other games. So I would like to avoid fighting if I could. I'm gonna aggro this ball bear, just to move it out of the way. One thing I learned recently is if you off-screen a ball bear, they won't go back to sleep right away, which can be very frustrating. Okay, the UV lamp is there. There should be more bomb rocks behind that ball bear there. The other problem is there should still be a swooping snitch bug that we briefly saw at the end of the previous stream that we were not able to fight because we were running out of time. And I just kind of called the day there because I was panicking. Oh, there's the swooping snitch bug. So, unfortunately right nearby a Wollywog. So, slight fear. But I will want to take this guy out now, so we don't have to worry about him later. Oh, he's being a little feisty. Alright, I also don't know what I'm doing with my voice today. I think my voice is kind of shot, because of like allergies and stuff. So if I sound kind of froggy today, I do apologize a little bit. But yeah, that's just my breathing is just normally kind of effed up, to be honest. So, with our... well, we'll just leave the yellow Pikmin for now, I think. I think we are going to try to get the thingy over here, actually. We might not actually get the glitch today. Get to the glitch today. That might be next day. But either way, we'll be doing that at some point. So, I'm gonna... try to be a little sneaky here. Actually, what I should do first is aggro you. So I'm gonna aggro you, pull you over to like this spot, hopefully. And then that should be enough. So they'll leave us alone. I'm kind of winging it, by the way. As much as I do enjoy Pikmin 1, I'm not like an expert on it, so like this isn't like ideal in terms of speedrunning or anything. Definitely not that level. Something else I forgot to mention is that the sheer wigs actually will take damage in water, so hypothetically you can just lure them into water here and they'll start gradually losing health. Which is very nice, to be honest. You don't want to have to fight them head on. In general, there are fewer of them than in the Forest Naval, I find, so it's actually easier to deal with them. Because it's like, they're more like spread out, so it's generally... oh, the Pikmin that are carrying our spoils seem to be milling about in one place with their loads. It appears that their path back to the onion is blocked, and faced with what seems to be an insurmountable obstacle. They have lost their focus. This is unacceptable. I will have to determine what is blocking their way and do what I can to resolve the problem. Alright. Neat. I forgot that we hadn't seen that text yet. Also, I think this version fixed a glitch where in the original version, and I think Wii too, every time you hit you carried something back to the onion with 100 Pikmin on the field, you'd get the same message about how there could only be 100 Pikmin on the field at one time. I think this version finally fixed that. So again, the Switch version has so many like small improvements over the previous versions. It actually makes a huge difference in my opinion. Like maybe not a huge difference, but it definitely makes a difference, I'd say. I'm also gonna start luring these Wollywogs a little bit, just because we will be trying to go for that wall over there, probably. Again, you can avoid a lot of combat in Pikmin 1 if you just kind of steer enemies to the right spot. It's really nice, actually, as someone who, again, doesn't really like dealing with some of the tougher enemies. Again, the combat's way more manageable in later Pikmin games, just because you have more options. Oh shoot, well that sucks. That is definitely what I call a problem. So we gotta start guiding you over again. Yeah, they will eventually return to like their default position, which sucks. I gotta hope that's, you know, we can get in out fast enough, basically. Yeah, they de-aggroed, so we should be good. There we go. I also deliberately, like... Oh wait, one sec. I found the gluon tribe using the quark-binding metaphysical properties of gluons. This device, well, it's very scientific, and I don't fully understand it myself, but it's very expensive. Just like me for real. Like, oh, I'm sure this is cool, I don't know how to explain it though. But yeah, I deliberately aggroed the ball bears because typically they will move and then sit down slightly further in where they were originally sitting, which the hope is they'll be far in enough that they won't bump into the ball bear while carrying the part. I'm not really feeling this, to be honest. So I'm gonna try. This might backfire horrifically. Damn, okay. Good start. Yeah, you should use red Pikmin for that, in theory. So, again, we're gonna call a mulligan on that. Like, maybe I'm weird for this, but I actually really enjoy games that kind of force me to adapt. And, like, try to figure out different solutions to problems. I actually find that really fun. So in this case, having to, like, on the fly, figure out the best routes for everything, it's actually kind of enjoyable in my opinion. Even though, you know, in theory it probably shouldn't be as enjoyable, especially when, you know, in this case I lose progress, but I don't really care most of the time, especially like off-stream. I'll like just bang my head against the wall on a game for like a challenge run. So for example, Fire Emblem springs to mind. I often do deathless runs of Fire Emblem 2, and have a really good time with it. Hey, speaking of which, literally during the last stream, Sacred Stones got added to NSO, so hey, expect to see that show up for a Fox Girls favorites in the future, because that is one of my favorite Fire Emblems. So yeah, I did end up fighting those two ball bears. That should be the only two we need to fight, and even then need is a strong term. I think I could have gotten them in a better spot. In theory, I just didn't quite set them up properly, because I have seen runs where they're able to actually get past the ball bears without fighting any, basically. Yeah, I think I just screwed up personally, so that's on me. And yeah, Pikmin 2 is weird, because I think it counts for the Fox Girls favorites. I just don't think I have it in me to do it right away. So we'll probably take a break with Pikmin, and then come back to it a little bit later. Oh yeah, ball bears don't regen in this game, which is good, because they will regen in Pikmin 2. They will literally come back to life if you leave them long enough, and it sucks. I hate it. Genuinely one of the most stressful parts of Pikmin 2 is having to deal with ball bears. They also don't sleep in Pikmin 2. They will be roaming around forever, basically. Again, for this series, it is kind of funny, because even though I'm streaming the game, I definitely feel like I go into a bit of a let's player mode with these games, just because I know a decent chunk about them. Like, I have a decent amount of knowledge of these games, so I can definitely kind of go into a let's player mentality with some of these. There were definitely games on the flip side where I can definitely info dump even more than this. If we ever get to like 1,000 Year Door, which I would hope I can get to that at some point, I will definitely info dump about that game quite a bit. I don't know how I'll tackle 1,000 Year Door, because on one hand it's one of my favorite games, on the other hand it's a long-ass RPG, so really on the fence with how to tackle that game. Yes, please leave the blue Pikmin alone, thank you. And Swooping Snitch Bug is rapidly approaching our location. Fighting it with 10 yellows is not my idea of a good time, unfortunately, so I don't know how to approach this. I'm just lucking out here a lot. They're done with the bridge, so I'm probably gonna... Oh shit. It's not great. There we go. I'm gonna quickly try to get the blues over as fast as possible. Again, the bridge glitch is fixed, so I don't have to worry as much about, like, them dying from bridges, thankfully. Like, sometimes if a Pikmin is under a bridge while it's being built, they will get crushed by it. So that is something very... Why no Pikmin latch on there? But yeah, that's one very unfortunate thing about Pikmin 1, is just, especially on GameCube, is just how glitchy it is. And Wii, because they didn't really fix any of the problems for the Wii version. I don't know why I'm not getting much distance on throws. There we go, finally. So he will be out of our way for now. Thank God, because I don't like dealing with those enemies. So next order of business, trying to build this bridge. And then we'll work on the... Is that the Zirconium Rotor? I think that's what that's called. The Zirconium Rotor is really annoying to get without fighting enemies, because there are two, like, Wally Hops guarding... I think I said the wrong name, so yeah. I'm just so used to the old name, even though, again, I think they're completely justified in changing that name, because it's not a great word, to be honest. Might as well carry back the enemies, because we're here. We got time. And the Bulbapeus actually give a decent amount of Pikmin, I think, from what I recall. So, might as well. There are more bombs, but I kind of need more Pikmin for those. Or at least I'd want more Pikmin for those. We can easily get a couple more parts today, though. So, we have, like, 7 more parts. On paper, it feels like it's slow going, and I mean, it kind of is, I'm gonna be real. But today is kind of like a setup day. Like, we're not getting a lot inherently, but we're setting up a lot of parts for next time. So yeah. The time differential, like, we'll make up the time tomorrow, where we hopefully, without too much resistance, we'll be able to get, like, every other part we're missing. At least that's the hope. You can also press A when you're a part to actually see the dialogue that comes up when you bring it into the ship. I haven't really been showing it since we see the dialogue anyway. Gluon Tribe. I have no idea how this works, but it means the dolphin will again lift off with its characteristic roar. Alright, 23 out of 30, so... Yeah, only 6 more. And again, there's one right here that's very easy to get. This is our next stop over here. I think it'll be easier to cut through this section of the map, instead of going around. Shit. That sucks. Okay. That presents a problem. Okay, we're fine. We're good. Crisis averted. But again, there's a thing where sometimes ball bears will not go back to sleep unless you, like, de-aggro them, and then watch them sit back down. So, like, we might have to keep an eye on it and just wait for it to go back. There's also, like, a bunch of Shearwigs over here. My hope is to get rid of them without too much resistance. There should be like 5 or 6, I think. There's quite a few. And again, the problem is I don't know where the one is. I see 2 of them. Oh, there it is. The actual individual spawns can vary, and even just like reloading can change their spawn position slightly in a way that's like very annoying in my opinion. Like sometimes them just being slightly more clumped together can make a day a lot more aggravating, and it's just that simple. There should be a couple more over here. So that's why I'm kind of like inching into this spot. I'm gonna go for this one because he's like facing a certain way. Again, if they actually eat a Pikmin, they will have iframes until they finish eating. We barely avoided a big problem there. That was a little too close for comfort, not gonna lie. Alright, I'm gonna be efficient actually. We're gonna use bombs to get through a couple of the walls here. The glitch is to get the worst part in this area, which is up on a ledge, but we actually can skip a puzzle, basically. So that will be our goal for next time, because we are definitely not getting to it today. We only have like a little bit left of this day. I don't even know if we're getting the Zirconium Rotor today, just because we're kind of running out of time. Oh shit, yeah, I heard the sound, I'm like, wait a minute, we don't actually have to worry about that. What the hell is this positioning, actually? So this one we want to lure as far off to, like, this lower section as we can. Like, that's not great. Can we get you a little bit lower, please? Okay. And you, we want to guide a little bit farther up. That should be good, but just be on the safe side. You can actually skip part, like you can actually go up there too to get to the next area. Not that that's needed for anything, but I'm gonna keep a close eye on these. I don't trust the Wally Hops. Again, I'm pretty sure I'm alternating the names because I'm like so used to just saying the other name. I mean, we're on, what, second try for this day? That's not too bad. Again, I thought this day would give me trouble, so I'm not, like, shocked by having a slight catastrophe on day 1, or attempt 1 of this. Alright, so there's that taken care of, so we can now get this. It's my Zirconium Rotor. This is made from rust-proof zirconium, which is particularly suited to making spaceship parts. I had to pay a lot of extra to have this installed, and I suspect the mechanic overcharged me. I don't know what route they're gonna take, so this could also be awkward. Please go that way, thank you. Okay, the problem is, oh, shoot. Again, sometimes Pikmin just feel like they have a death wish. Like, they will just take the dumbest route possible, and it's like, why you like this? Why you, like, trying to cheat death like this instead of just taking the sensible route? In that case, we might have a problem with the pilot seat, actually. Over here. Alas, my pilot seat. Once I get this installed, my cockpit will finally be back in order. Soon my ship will be starting to look more and more like the Dolphin of old. Ah, the memories. So we might have an issue, because we did aggro Ball Bear by accident. We are missing a Pikmin, by the way. Oh wait, it's just there. Okay. They take this one around the other way, so we should be okay. They're not gonna pass by that other Wally Hop. But the problem is they might go past the Ball Bear area, and if they go through the Ball Bear area, they might be in trouble. Zirconium Rotor made of rust-proof zirconium is as shiny as new despite being left out in this planet's harsh elements. Alright, we are on pace from what I wanted to do today. Because there is one more very easy part to get. Okay, where the hell are they going, actually? I don't usually see them go this way. I think it's because we took out the wall over there. I mean, arguably, that's a safer route, so I'm actually okay with that, but... sometimes Pikmin stress me out with their, like, lack of survival instincts. Alright. Risk time. Yeah, no, I think its position is so bad now that we won't be able to get that, so we'll get that tomorrow. With our remaining time... I'm doing risk assessment, basically. Hi, I'm in the top right now. Oddly enough, the Pikmin with Olimar despawn, but you can still see Olimar. Pilot seat. Picturing this in the cockpit, images of me lifting off into space begin to fill my taxed brain. Fills me with inspiration once again. So yeah, my goal was like 3 to 4, so we did get 3 to 4, but we have some very tough parts to get left, which I'm not a fan of, but hey, could be worse, I suppose. I am contemplating doing something really dumb. So I don't think I should do the dumb thing I'm contemplating. I think I should play it safe. Oh, wait, I did do it bad, actually, because it's gonna spam Pikmin. I need to actually have 100 on the field to make sure I don't have to actually manually pluck them in the, like, minute remaining. The count also goes up way faster in Pikmin 1 compared to every other Pikmin game, where it like ticks up a lot slower for some reason. Also, hey, that's everything I wanted to do on this day, so we might as well just nope out. Overall, again, second try on that is not bad. Next day should actually be pretty easy. In theory, the next day should be pretty easy, because all we have are 3 parts that, like, don't have much combat involved. 10 days since impact. If I can just find 5 more parts, the dolphin will be fully rebuilt. But time has grown short. I must not flag in my search. Even if I can't not recover every piece, I will not give up. Surely some of those parts are absolutely necessary. I can almost see my smiling family. Still deathless. Cool. I love when Olimar sometimes is like, oh no, I have to get like 3 parts and I only have like 20 days left. It's like, Olimar, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine, buddy. Like, you got nothing to worry about. Alright, this should be, fingers crossed, our final day in the distant spring. We actually don't need yellow Pikmin anymore, believe it or not. That might sound like a weird statement, given, there's one part that very clearly requires yellow Pikmin in this area. However, I'm not going to use yellow Pikmin to get it, because I want to show off a speedrun trick, because I can. This is a very easy trick to perform. At this point, we have so little left to do in this day, or in this area, that it really wouldn't be that helpful to do this trick. But it looks cool, so I'm gonna show it off. That's kind of my logic, is hey, rule of cool. So, what we want to do is toss like 20 Pikmin up here. I'm gonna toss like 30, just to err on the side of caution. I'm also gonna fight the water dumples over here as Olimar, because 1, we have time, and 2, I, again, don't like fighting them with Pikmin because sometimes they have trouble latching onto the one actively trying to eat Pikmin. So it's a very easy way to quickly release Pikmin. Again, it's very interesting having played this game, you know, many times over the past 2 years, basically. I have developed a ridiculous amount of, like, very specific strategies to avoid losing Pikmin. Hi, see, welcome on in. Thank you for the head pats. I need my own head pat emote at some point. Again, it feels like it's something that comes up with me, enough that it's something that will be of use. Also to avoid having to rely on gift subs, as I've talked about before. Okay, glitch time. So what you're supposed to do is turn the Pikmin into yellow Pikmin, toss them over to the shore, toss them up to the part, then change them back into blue Pikmin, and then carry the part through the water. Instead, what I'm going to do is wake up this ball bear, lure it over to this little corner, get up here, and then let it attack me. If I do it right, basically his hitbox will push me into the wall, which will actually push me up here. So we can basically skip the actual, like, process of using the candy pop buds to convert Pikmin by doing that trick. It's one of my favorite little, like, small speedrun tricks in this game. It's one of the only ones I can actually do. The other speedrun trick I actually do to some degree, which is just designed to speed up the third day in the Forest of Hope, because I've never done a 6-day run of this game, is using the bomb rocks to take out the wall in the water in the Forest of Hope. Again, that's the only other, like, major exploit I use. Again, ball bears will not de-aggro. I found my Cronus reactor. Using strange new technology, this machine is able to warp space-time, the space-time continuum, and turn it into energy. I'm constantly amazed at how many mysteries are locked inside the parts of my ship. Again, because ball bears will not de-aggro unless you're actually watching them go back to sleep, I actually do need to let, like, go ease up a little bit, just to make sure he's asleep. Now we should, massive air quotes, should be able to carry this back, no problem. I'm gonna keep an eye on them. The blue Pikmin should go through the water with it, so yeah, I think they're gonna be okay, I hope. Okay, looks like they're fine. So now we can worry about the second Ionium jet up here. This one's easy to get. This is like, you have to toss Pikmin up and then toss them over to the part. It's pretty easy. You only need like 15 again. I think the guidebook actually has a typo. Like the official Nintendo player guide, I think it says 20 for this, but it's only 15, like the original. I mean, it can be nice to have more than enough, just in case you miss a throw. Cronus reactor. This reactor changes permutations in the space-time continuum into pure energy. Basically, it's like a big rubber band. Hey, we have gotten to 26 out of 30, so only 2 more. Hi, Stormblight, welcome on in. You didn't miss too much, other than me, like, slightly glitching the distance spring. I found my number 2 Ionium jet. It's easy on the eyes, and its fuel efficiency is easy on the budget. Well, that just sounds like a sales pitch at that point. Okay, what do I want to do now? They should be fine. Mild hesitance on committing to that sentence, knowing how Pikmin AI can be, but they should be okay. So we'll start working on this bridge up here. I like to keep an eye on them sometimes. It's like, I don't entirely trust the AI to not just run straight into a raging enemy. But looks like they're fine. So we might as well build this bridge. And we're not going to fight the armored cannon beetle for obvious reasons. But we are going to at least get started on that a little bit early. We actually do want a decent amount of blue Pikmin for this, just for the sake of being able to carry everything back. I don't know if I want to fight it with blue Pikmin though. It'll be a little bit annoying. Number 2 Ionium jet. The ads for these jets boast that with excellent mileage that's easy on the family budget, this jet will keep your spouse smiling and propel you to a happy home life. That is oddly specific. What day are we on, actually? We're on day 11. Jesus, this could be a 12-day run. Which is actually kind of my normal. Straight up, I didn't think I was gonna match that pace. I thought this would be, like, a 14-day run, just because of, like, safety strats. But frankly, I don't... Again, because I don't really go for, like, the absolute fastest strats anyway, I don't really feel like I lost too much time with the strats I ended up employing, which is nice. So we got this guy again. Just gotta button mash as many Pikmin onto its back as possible, basically. Again, you can very easily one-cycle this, no prob. I've discovered the bowsprit. With this piece installed, my ship should regain some of its sleek shape. This is like very heavy. Yeah, you can put 50 on this, and then you can put another 50 on the cannon beetle itself. I'm gonna give it some space, because I'm afraid if they're too close together, they'll end up pushing each other into the ball bear. I'm gonna, again, watch this like a hawk, because I don't trust the AI to not run into something. Alright, they're taking a wide swing. I'm a little bit more worried about the cannon beetle. I think it has a slight... Actually, it looks like it has a smaller hitbox. So if the bowsprit made it through, the cannon beetle should be no problem. But you never know with Pikmin. Looks like they're good. Okay. Smooth sailing. Normally cannon beetle is one of the most productive enemies in the game. You can easily get like 50 Pikmin from each one, and I think they do respawn. Like, if you're willing to go back to the Forest of Hope, you can just get another easy 50 Pikmin. Also, I think I double-checked and the swooping snitch bug shows up in the Forest of Hope in like day 15 onwards. That is way later than I thought it would be. The so-called face of the dolphin, and point of fact, I designed it. So yeah, he actually was the one who made that part, interestingly. It wasn't, or like designed it, it wasn't just like he bought it off someone like so many of the other parts in this collection. Alright, again, this ball bear is in a better position than the previous day, so we should be able to do this no problem. I think the Nintendo Power Guide also says 15 for the UV lamp, when it's actually 10. But again, you might need extra just because of how easily they'll fall off that ledge over there. But this should be our last ship part. This is actually one of the optional ones. So it's kind of anticlimactic ending on this one, actually. Given it, yeah, this one is totally optional. There's not really any significant reason to get this one. This handy light is great for tanning, but it doesn't seem to have any relation to the dolphin's flight capabilities. I doubt that will affect my escape from this planet. Perhaps there are other parts like this as well. I've recovered 29 out of 30 parts, increasing the dolphin's capabilities. My search can now cover a wider area. So the funny thing about this is the final part in the last area is also one of the optional parts. You can actually complete the game without either this part or the last one. You'll get a slightly rockier ending, but it really doesn't matter, to be honest. The other problem I'm having right now is I don't know what else to do with this day. I might just call it here, actually, because like there's nothing else to do here that I want to take a chance on. I need to specify, because there is something we could do here. I'm gonna save it for a separate day. Again, this playthrough is going really well, to the point where, like, I have time. I might show off some of the, some other secrets, too. I might fight the, Smoky Prog, but I don't want to do it on this day, because I don't want to throw away progress, basically. So yeah, I think I'll save that for, a little bit later. Like, next day. Again, I might just make this a 14-day run in spirit, just by goofing around a little bit, to be honest. If I can guide this guy closer to the entrance, I might be able to fight it, no problem. And we'll get a lot of pellets, so we might as well grow some more Pikmin since we have time. Again, not a necessity. At this point, we have plenty of Pikmin for the rest of the game, especially with a Deathless run. You only need like 100, technically, of certain types if you want to like have an easier time, but like I've seen runs of Pikmin where they literally only have like 50 for the entire game. And that is like more efficient because you're not actually raising as many. In some ways it's more efficient, in other ways it's less efficient, obviously, because you have less you have fewer numbers to actually speed up certain tasks. Hi Peter, welcome on in. Hope you're doing okay. Hope everyone's having a good day, by the way. My day's been actually pretty okay. might talk about that a little bit later, depending on how much time we have. But yeah, this is a very smooth run. I'm actually very impressed that I have not had any major catastrophes, given that I tend to have major catastrophes while playing Pikmin. So yeah, in general, I'm very happy with this playthrough turning out as smoothly as it did. I think I'm gonna do some side stuff next. I don't know if I'll, for the sake of like, I can get a 12-day run, so I'm kind of like eyeing that right now. I might gotta go for a 13 just if the final boss gives me trouble. If we try the final boss and I lose Pikmin a bunch and I end up resetting a lot, I might just save before the boss. 11 days since impact. At last, but a single part remains. Since I've recovered 29 of the missing parts, the dolphin's power is near capacity. In the forest depths below, I see a region where the final part must lie. Clearly, this is my final trial. My life support fails in 19 days. Courage. Totally need a lot of courage there, Olimar. It's not like we have any urgency here. So yeah, we're gonna goof off a little bit, actually, for the sake of, oh yeah, you get a meteor shower the first time you unlock the distant spring, or the final trial, which is really nice. I'm gonna do something kind of goofy, actually. We're gonna go back here. Again, I might not save this day for the sake of, like, getting a decent time on the game. But then again, you'd also get a lot of Pikmin this way. So I'm kind of torn on how to actually go about this. Again, do I want a Pikmin record or do I want a day count record? It's basically the conundrum I'm facing at the moment. Did the shear grips or shear wicks not respawn yet? I thought they respawned by now, but I guess not. So we have an easy time of just going over here, I guess. So basically what I'm gonna do is try to fight the game's super boss in a way that hopefully will make it deathless, but also might take like 10 minutes. So it should be very obvious what I'm planning, given them stocking up on bomb rocks at the moment. That should be very self-explanatory what I'm up to. We might end up losing Pikmin anyway, you know, full disclosure, just because things can go horribly wrong in this game. So I'm not entirely expecting a totally flawless run, but I'll do my best. Did somebody say boom? Yeah. On GameCube, I've actually seen clips where you can actually set off chain reactions in order to actually do the fight even faster, but I've tested it on this version with my old file. I couldn't get it to work, so yeah, it looks like we have to just manually chuck bombs. There's no way to like one cycle it with bombs, unfortunately. But this here is an egg. We're gonna crack its egg. Basically, if you get up to it like this, kind of like other enemies, it'll eventually aggro. You can also damage the egg. You can actually break the egg outright, which just completely kills it. Like, you can kill it before it spawns, which won't give you any kind of prize. But anyway, congrats to the Smoky Prog for coming out of its egg. I'm trying to formulate a pride joke, and I'm struggling a little bit to word this properly. So the Smoky Prog's enemy behavior involves trying to uproot Pikmin with its roar. So it tends to basically go to underneath an onion, roar, and then just kind of chill there for a little bit. It just kind of sits around, which actually gives you a very good opportunity to just throw bomb rocks at it. The one problem is they sometimes clip the onion itself, which means the bombs don't actually, like, go off properly. Shoot, okay. So eventually, it'll de-aggro, and it'll just resume its same pattern of, like, you know, roaring. This is really easy, actually. So yeah, this is how you trivialize the hardest boss in the game. It's just slowly chuck bomb rocks at it. I could have done that last time, I had enough time. The fun thing about the Smoky Prog is... Oh my god, I just realized it's Smoky Prog. That joke works even better than I thought it did. The fun thing about this is it drops this little pearl. This will give you 100 Pikmin, like straight up. So once we take it back, it'll literally give you like 100 sprouts. This is why I put all my Pikmin away, just because it looks spectacular to see this. Like, look at all those. That's wild. I can't think of anything else that gives you this many Pikmin in any of the games in the series. This will take forever, by the way. It actually doesn't take that long. Especially in this version, you can just hold A, which is nice. Again, that was a feature added in 4, I think. And so they retrofitted it into the Switch versions of 1 and 2. So yeah, I don't have to like button mash for like a minute, which is nice. So yeah, hey, chat, do I save that? Like, attempt to have a higher number, or do I go for a smaller day count? Because I'm like, I'm not sure if I should save this day or not, or if I should just go back to my previous file. Because again, there are merits to both options, basically. I typically don't really go for Pikmin grown records though, so I might just go back to the file select. Truth be told. But again, I just kind of want to show this off because it's very funny. And again, this is like the worst boss in the game. Its entire body is poisonous, except for like just its face. So you have to like carefully align Pikmin with its face. If it touches anywhere else, the Pikmin will instantly be disintegrated. So like, it's one of the most like scary bosses in the entire series. But yeah, Bomb Rocks completely trivialize it apparently. So hey, if you ever want to fight this guy legit, this is how you do it real quickly. If you break the egg, it will not respawn. If you aggro it and don't kill it, it won't respawn, and the egg itself will disappear on its own after day 15, so it's a very elusive enemy. The speed or score are more important. Yeah, I think speed is slightly more important to me, so I think I am gonna go back to my previous save. These files look very similar now. And next up we have this, the impact site. So after day 7, I think, special enemies will start to appear in the impact site. I actually need to take a look real quick to see which one is here, because I forgot which one is even and which one is odd. Okay, even is the Memuta, which is actually like a version of, like an evolution of the Smoky Prog. I think the Smoky Prog is like a baby Memuta, which basically creates a duality, because the Smoky Prog is incredibly deadly to Pikmin, that even just touching them will, again, instantly disintegrate them. However, the Memuta is actually kind of helpful. Basically, the Memuta will not attack Pikmin, instead it'll just plant Pikmin. Whenever it plants a Pikmin, they'll actually sprout into a flower. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see it, we killed it too fast. But yeah, that's a very unique property of the Memuta. They don't give nearly as many, like, you know, Pikmin as the Smoky Prog. Significantly smaller number, but again, it's just kind of cool to show that off. Our final, like, secret and actually, I need to use a cool feature of the Wii version onwards for this game. You can actually roll back to earlier days, which is very nice. I actually might do it on my old file, just to make sure I don't screw something up here on the stream file. Wow, in this file, did I really get the Huh, really? I actually got the positron generator last on this file. Again, there's so many ways to approach different scenarios in Pikmin. It's really fascinating because it's like, yeah, you can just go about the same level in drastically different ways. I probably wanted to fight the Gulix so I could get more Pikmin out of it, because I think it drops pellets. So yeah, I think that's probably my way of thinking, but I don't know what passed me from a year or two ago. God, that would have been like 2 years? Pikmin 4 was July, and then I think these were a shadow drop for a direct, but I also didn't buy them right away because I waited for the physical, kind of like Metroid Prime, we did the same before. So like, I would have played this probably back in, like, sometime spring of 2023, probably. So yeah, I don't know what past me was thinking. So the technique for the Gulix is you want to latch as many Pikmin onto its pearl as possible. It won't do that much damage inherently. However, if you get a lot of Pikmin on it, if I'm not mistaken, this is how this works, and then you hit the other little ball inside of it, it deals a lot more damage. Like, naturally, I don't think it does that much damage to just hit the ball on its own. Basically trying to get a lot of Pikmin latched onto it first causes like a chain reaction of sorts. So yeah, that is all of the secret bosses, quote-unquote bosses, of Pikmin 1.